Okay, this week we're going to be talking about schedules, what they are, and how to create them, how to manipulate them around a bit. And before we move into schedules, I'm going to go back and look at tagging briefly. I know I've covered it previously, but we're going to look at it real briefly here. So go ahead and download the file. That's in this week's assignment. I've added a lot of stuff to it from last week to kind of go forward. And here on the ground floor, I've gone ahead and tagged rooms and tagged doors and tagged the windows back here. Now, storefront windows and curtain wall are actually a wall family, so a window tag does not work on those. And they get handled differently as far as schedules go. Okay, and it's kind of beyond the scope of the classes that we're teaching here, so I'm not going to get into that right now. Okay. I forgot to renumber that room right there. Okay, so when you tag a room, and I know we've covered that, so when you tag it, you can edit the room name and the room number. And Revit will always default to whatever the last room number was that you used. I'm going to go ahead and renumber that one to get it back right. Okay. And so with room tags, you've got options to show the volume or show the area, or just the room number or any combination of those. And that's fine. Door tags, the default door tag, and let me select my tag. If we look at it, not there. Okay, if I go in and edit the family to look at it, doors are tagged with a label, and the label is the mark. Okay, which means when you place a door, it gives it a mark number. Okay, and they are sequential. So whatever the first door you place in your project, that becomes door number 1. Okay, and as you can see, I place these things way out of order. Okay, so in a commercial project, doors typically are numbered based on the room that they are entering. So this would be door number 104. This would be door 103. If you had multiple doors entering into a room, it would be an A and a B. Okay. Entry doors, yeah, it could be 101A and 101B. Okay. We're gonna look at those things in a moment. Windows get tagged with a type mark. And if I look at my window tag, what are the options here? Not any options on window tags. But if I edit the family and look at the label, it's the type mark. And type mark is a unique identifier for that particular style and size of window. Because these windows, all the window number 1s in this project are identical. There's nothing different about them. If there were something different, like a different type of glazing on, say, the east side of the building or the south side of the building, then you would duplicate that window and give it a new name and description, and it would get a different type mark. Okay. All right. Because windows that are identical are not listed individually in a schedule. They're just grouped together. So I've got 4 windows of this type. Okay, no big deal. But doors have to be listed individually because they all have a unique identifier based on where they are. They may have a different frame style. They may have a different door panel style. They may have a different swing, a right-hand swing versus a left-hand swing, and they may have different lock sets. So doors are always listed individually. Okay, so I've got that done. So level 2. So let's go ahead and tag these rooms quickly. So we go architecture room, and I'm going to place the first one and stop. And I'm going to go ahead and rename this one common and number it 201. Duplicate values. I don't know why. Is there one down here? Oh, excuse me. It should be 301. Ooh, sorry about that. Okay, and now let's go back. And you can see that my numbering system is working sequentially here now. Okay. And so I could come back through here and rename these rooms. And if we do some door tags and window tags, tag by category. But so I'm going to turn off my leader. I don't like using leaders unless I absolutely have to. And then I've got some windows here. And I like to put my window tags on the outside of the building. I don't know why it's defaulting to the inside on these. I don't think I've got the windows reversed. Okay, and then back on level 1, I didn't tag these windows here, so we can go ahead and okay, and now let's merge. Can we do that? No, I have to have a leader on them. Maybe I need to pull them out. I don't know why this is being difficult. I don't know why it's being so difficult. Anyway, I was trying to. Okay, I'll come back to that. All right. So if we create some schedules, and we got a couple of different ones that we can do, let's start with room finishes. Now, in this model, we don't have any carpet or flooring or anything like that put in. Even if you did, it may or may not show up in your schedule. It just depends on the way things are created. And there's a couple of different ways of adding those room finishes. Now, if we want, let's look at some different schedules, because a schedule is just a text report that is taken from the model. And the schedules are parametric, meaning that if you change the model, it will update the schedule. Okay, and then the data within the schedule is taken from parameters for either the individual component or the family. Or it's a calculation based on something, based on the area or the room tag or the volume or stuff like that. And so within the schedule, you can do, you can do counts, you can quantify things, you can do lengths, you can do areas, you can do volumes, etc. Okay, so let's look at a couple of different schedules. And so we'll go sheets, schedules here. And the one you're going to use mostly is the schedule quantities. Okay, and you have different type things going on there. We're not going to get into a lot of those, but we'll go here, schedule quantities. And you can sort here. So I'm going to turn off those and just go with just architecture. And let's go down to rooms. Look at my notes over here just a minute. Okay, so we'll go with a room, and we'll call it room schedule. Let's change that to room area schedule, and we'll just leave it at building components. Okay. And then we can add different fields that we want. And so let's start off with, let's go level and number, then name. Let's add area, perimeter, and just for Google's, let's add unbounded height. Okay. All right, so now it's created our schedule here. And we can filter or sort or whatever. So let's come over here. If we need to add fields or take away fields, we can go here to edit. That brings us back. Let's do a sort. Let's sort by level and then by number. Okay, so that gets all our ground floor stuff together, all our 1 and all our 2. And then, we've got the names, we've got the areas, and we've got this. Okay. Now, if we were to look at, let me close down everything but level 2. And I'll tile my views. And so instead of coming in here to click and rename things, I can rename things in my schedule. So I know room 307 is stairway number 2. And because I've already got it entered into my rooms, I can just pick it. Okay. I know 303 here is stairway number 1. Okay. Let's see, 302. We got a lot of offices here, so 304 is in office. Okay, and let's see, 309 is a toilet. Uh, 310 and 11 are offices. You get the idea here. I can make these changes pretty quickly here. It's easier than clicking on those other things. And we'll go here. This one, we'll call it storage. Okay. Now I can change room numbers the same way. I can come in here and renumber my rooms. It's just you get a warning that you've got, you know, duplicate numbers unless you start with your higher ones and work your way down. Now, we have one room that's not tagged, and that's our elevator shaft. And so here within my room area schedule, we can insert and delete. Now, I don't, depending upon the schedule, if you delete a row, you may delete that component in your model. If you got a door and a window schedule and you delete it, it's not just deleting the tag, it's deleting the door or the window. Here in a room, it will not delete the walls and the floors or those kinds of things, but it just delete the tag, and it just causes problems. So I do not recommend you delete very many things from within your schedule. We want to insert a data row. Let me get down here, unselect that. And actually, I want to open up my ground floor. Not the ceiling plan. Duh. Okay, so let's go back to our schedule here, and we're going to go insert data row. And you see it calls it not placed. All right, and because this is my elevator shaft, I don't know, let's call it, I don't have a 100, so we're just going to call it 100, and the name will be elevator shaft. Okay. Now you can see I've got a room I've created in my room schedule, but it's not placed. Okay. And over here in my in my menus, I can hide unplaced ones. I can show unplaced ones, or I can isolate unplaced ones. Okay. Now also within a schedule, I can click on a room and it should highlight it for me. If not, I can come over here and click highlight in model. Okay. Okay, so that was that was up on level 1. Okay, and so if it's not popping up, then I can always click that. Okay, so now then, I've got this one, and I want to actually place it into here, so I've got it tagged in here. So I can come back to my floor plan and go room, and instead of it being a new room, I can pick the one that I've already created and then place it in there. And so now it fills in my shaft information. Okay. So that's, that's one thing that we can deal with room schedules, okay, for those kinds of things. Now, next, I want to, because a room finish schedule would have all the finish information, let's see, I'm at 20 minutes now in this video. Let me pause this one and then I'll come back and we'll talk about room finish schedules.